What up? This is Robert Ory.
Ory, three-pointer. Buries it!
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Ory for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Ory from downtown.
I know what's going on, Big Shot Bob. Show number 2 this week. It is the shoot-around. Done about 78 of these jokers. We are rapidly screaming in on episode 200 of the Big Show, by the way. Who do I feel like we need to track somebody down.
Yes.
For episode 200. I've been working on Shaquille forever. God bless that man. His schedule's a raging dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Anybody on your radar or people that you know that we can get for show 200 that you would just like to have on? We haven't had a guest in quite a while.
I know.
In a long time.
It's been a long. I think Dominique was our last guest, and maybe Damon Stoudemire.
Yeah,
I think Damon was our last guest. But you're talking a few months. Now, we're not really a guest-driven show. We just talk about topical sports stuff. We bust each other's balls. We play stupid audio like the girl with the slap that wiener thing. But a guest is good every now and then, I think, for the 200th. Now, I'll remind you, episode 100, Bill Walton.
Yeah.
God rest his soul.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Bill Walton?
That was Bill Walton, was episode 100. So I feel like when we hit episode 200, we don't have to answer this question now, but we need to get somebody that we just love for episode 200. So I'll keep poking at Shaquille and see if maybe he can make an appearance. But
I'm going to go down and knock on Dave Roberts' Dave Roberts' door.
Oh, does he live by you?
Yeah, he lives down the street. Yeah.
Oh, I would love to have Dave on.
Yeah.
Manager of the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to have him. Go knock on his door. Go bug him. Actually, who we need to have on? I've said this to you 100 times. We got to get James on. Worthy.
Oh, that's easy.
We've never had James.
I thought we had James on.
We've talked about it 100 times. He's never come on. So maybe James can join us for 200, and he can tell us all the embarrassing stories about you from behind the scenes at Spectrum.
Yeah, do we have James to we have to do it on a non-golf day. That dude played golf every.
Oh, it's like Clyde. That was like Clyde. We had to get Clyde on a day where he wasn't playing golf.
Yeah. I asked him today. It's like, when you're not playing golf, because he said he'd come on the show. We just got to figure out when.
Okay, well, let's work on that. I would like to have James for sure. And then if you can get Dave, man, go get Dave. Go ask Dave. Do you know him, or are you just going to show up at his house?
Oh, I know him. Yeah,
oh, okay, good. I was like, nothing stranger, but like, hey, by the way, I live down the street.
Yeah. No, we have a mutual friend, Sharon and Joe Hernandez. They own Alyssa's Produce out here, and you
got a mutual friend and a pitcher named Jack Flaherty as well. So yeah.
I don't know about that one because everybody they signing everybody but Jack over there at the Dodgers. So Jack might be like, fuck Dave Roberts. I don't know.
I did say he hadn't re-signed over there.
Yeah, he hadn't re-signed with anybody yet. So
all right, listen, a couple quick things in the shoot around this week that I wanted to bring up. We did not get to on the Tuesday show. I'm going to start with Dwight Howard. I know we've had this conversation, but I thought this audio was at least interesting. So I'm going to play this was audio of Dwight on a podcast this week talking about how Shaquille treats him and where it's kind of put him mentally.
There's so many people that we could bring together, but yet you got an attitude about what? You are a grown-ass 50-year-old or about to be 50, whatever.
No, he like 52, 53.
You are. You're twice my elder. Whatever you want to call it, I have no issue with you. But you continue to talk about me, I'm going to have to come to you. And it's not violent, but it's, hey, man, I was finna roll up to the studio wherever he at and say, hey, yo, bro. It's not like a fearful thing or anything like that, but it's just like, yo, we done passed the basketball. You not in the NBA. You done did your time. I done did my time. And we still going. Yeah. We still going on with the pettiness. So at what point does it stop?
It has been going on he's got a point, though.
Yeah.
It's been going on for a really long time. And the days of Dwight trying to kind of carry the torch as the new big guy in Orlando, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And at some point, that needs to go to bed. But showing up at the TNT studios is not going to work for you, Dwight.
Please do.
Oh, for us, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's going to work out well for him because we all know Shaquille pretty well, and he hates nothing more than a surprise. Guess who's here to talk to you about something you didn't want to talk about? Dwight Howard. He's down at the front door.
Yeah, I think It was all good when this was kind of like a jokey joke type of thing at one point in time, way before, a long time ago. But now this has gotten old.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this is about. This is about a nickname. Let it go. Superman ain't even real. Like
you watch your mouth.
like
watch your little whore mouth.
We're mad about a name that's already been copyrighted. We're mad about a character that's already existed and ain't even really real. And we're arguing and bickering with one another for years about who the real Superman. Okay, Shaq had the name first, then Dwight took it. Cool. There's no reason why 10, 15 years later we should still be hearing about this. They should really be, there's no reason they should be fighting. They should really be cool. They should really sit down in front of one another.
Well, I think that was Dwight's point,
Yeah. Have a real man-to-man conversation and talk about stuff, because we've seen time and time and time again, you don't want anything to happen to anybody where you start, and I'm not saying that y'all got to be cool. Y'all ain't got to be best of buddies, but y'all are in your own right, you're two of the most decorated big men of all time in the NBA history. Bruh, sit down and have a conversation.
Put it to bed.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dog. Or get into the ring, put on some gloves, box it out, and then hug it out. And then leave everything in the ring. But leave this petty stuff on the internet. Y'all grown ass men on the internet going back and forth like some little 13-year-old schoolgirls.
Yeah, it's to me, it's just let it go for both guys. Both of y'all are, done with the NBA. And I agree with you more, B. There's so many things you two could be doing together. Not just in Orlando. You both probably live in Atlanta. You both play for You got a lot of things, a lot of commonalities there that y'all can do a lot of things, especially this time with the shit that's going on in this world, with the freezes that's in the East Coast, with the fires that's on the West Coast. Do something. Come together. You know what? They should do a charity fight. With those big gloves, the big gloves you do.
Oh, yeah, like the goofy sumo thing where it's like, where you can both Hulk hands.
Yeah, but I equate that to something like me and Chauncy getting mad at each other. I should get mad at Chauncy because he just took my name, Big Shot, and put Mr. on the front of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, it ain't my name. I ain't copyrighted, so it's like.
But it irks you.
It does irk me.
You call him the fake Mr. Big Shot.
I just do it. I like to have fun. I like to have fun.
I know. You it's never ill will.
Yeah. Chauncey,
you're telling me that didn't irk you?
No, not really.
Really? Oh,
I thought it was funny. It's like I didn't really pay any attention because I've never heard anybody call him that, and so I didn't really care.
It's like when someone gives themselves a nickname. like I'm gonna call myself. Okay, no one else calls you that. Do you know who Sydney Thomas is? Have you heard that name?
I know who Sydney Sweeney is.
She's not far off. She's not far off. She was the ring girl during the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight that went super viral. The really beautiful
seriously?
blonde girl.
She was at the Hawks game last couple of weeks ago, so whatever.
Okay. Harp tracks her phone, so he knows.
What they have is Modelo has like 2 seats behind the basket, and they always highlight the celebrities who are in those Modelo seats on the Jumbotron.
Yep. So
Michelob, whatever.
The reason that she's in the news, she was on a recent podcast called Like a Famer. She is a 21-year-old model. She goes to the University of Alabama.
She does?
She does. She's an Alabama student. And she revealed that there was an SEC football coach that rolled into her DMs.
Lane Kiffin.
Of course. Yep.
And just shot her a note that said, "Roll Tide."
It had to be
That's
Lane
all they
Kiffin.
said. I was going to say, no judgment here. 100% this is Lane Kiffin. There isn't another coach in the SEC that I would even entertain in this conversation aside from Lane Kiffin. It has to be,
I can't
right?
think so.
It has to be. But if you're Lane Kiffin, you're the head coach at what, Ole Miss?
Yeah.
What are you doing going into her DM? Like, if you slide into her DMs, that's one thing. But Roll Tide?
Who was it? Did she say?
No, she never said who it was.
But
100%
you know what,
it's
though?
Lane Kiffin, though.
But here's the thing.
Is Lane married?
I think he might be.
Here's the thing, though. You say if he was just to roll into her DMs is one thing, but then to roll in to say Roll Tide. Here's the thing. I look at it the opposite way. Roll Tide was probably the safest thing that he could have said because it's saying something without really saying what you want to say. It's acknowledging. He's saying Roll Tide from the standpoint of I like what I see without
girl.
saying I.
Hey, girl.
Yeah, I like what I see without telling you verbatim that I like what I see.
Roll Tide.
Yeah. So if he gonna roll in and say something, that may have been the safest bet instead of actually saying probably what he wanted to say.
Okay. Lane Kiffin got divorced in 2016.
Oh, there's Lane Kiffin.
So he's been single for 100% Lane Kiffin. 100% Lane Kiffin. 100%. Question from Chris. Rob, are you watching the new season of World's Toughest Test? Cam Newton and Golden Tate are on there, both looking like they're going to outlast you in this one.
They are.
Yeah, that's from Chris.
I watched one episode. There was
I watched the first one.
I watched the first episode, and then I haven't watched anything else.
That
they got it easy compared to what we had.
You had the cold.
We were in the cold.
You weren't in the cold. You were in like the damn near the Arctic cold.
Yeah,
like you guys were in the most miserable cold I could even imagine. But the video of Cam Newton off the side of that helicopter has gone super viral this week, which was actually a pretty cool moment because it's like he grabbed the edge. He had to jump off a ship onto a helicopter. He grabbed the railing of the helicopter and he was just dangling. And I'm like, oh, he's done. He's gonna drop. He managed to pull himself up, climb up, grab the rope, swing his foot up, and get up into that helicopter. Which was,
y'all do know who we're talking about here, right? Cam Newton is an athlete.
Yeah, but he's been retired for a hot minute.
He stays in. Cam Newton still works out. You can be a retired athlete is better than a regular civilian who's been working out their entire life.
Okay,
because that's you said.
Oh yeah, here comes Rob defending his performance on the show.
Yeah, you've been out of the league, the NBA, for a long time.
Yeah.
I could have stayed more. I had 15s and a 14. My feet were killing me.
Yeah, well,
it's funny because I never brought that up on the show.
I know.
I never mentioned
I
that.
still don't have feeling in half of my big toe on my right foot, which is the bigger foot.
Are you for real?
Yes.
From that show?
Yes.
Oh, that's a Fox lawsuit if I ever heard one. Look, man, a lot of people suing Fox right now, dude. Jump in on it. Jump in on it.
They already made you sign that waiver.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, but Cam, I'm not surprised. Cam is in good shape, and like I said, not being that far removed from actually playing football.
I get it, but man, that
like
takes some
Dwight.
hardcore.
Dwight was pretty good on his when he was on there too.
He did.
Cool.
Yeah,
he did pretty
Dwight
well.
when he was on season 1.
Yeah, he
in
was
shape
pretty good.
too.
Yeah.
All right. I want to talk about the new era of college sports with you a little bit.
Yes.
Rick Barnes, Tennessee, head coach of
Love
the Tennessee
Rick Barnes.
Monsters. Good dude.
Mm-hmm.
Sat his star player, Chaz Lanier, after I think it was like the first series of the second half or something. Quote, I took him out first play of the second half because he didn't shoot the ball. The play was designed for that shot, and I told him, if you're not going to do what you're getting paid to do, you sit over there because he's getting paid to do that.
Hello.
Tennessee sitting players and going, we pay you to shoot, you're going to go sit on the bench.
Go ahead, Rob.
How is this college sports? How is this college sports?
Go ahead.
This is the other side of that coin. See, like I said, I'm always pro player getting their money. But I'm going to tell the players and the athletes, if you're going to get this type of money, the other side of this coin is coaches and people are going to start looking at you a little different because now you're getting paid to do something. So now it is a level of professionalism now. So now if a coach wants to sit you because you're not doing what you're getting paid to do, hey, that's the other side of this thing. You can't accept the coin if you can't accept both sides. And this is the other side of it. I have no issue with it.
Rob?
None whatsoever.
You know what? For me, even if you're not paid to do it, you ran the fucking play and the play is designed for you. Be happy you got a fucking play designed for you.
I understand. Yeah.
I'm like, why did you shoot the fucking ball? Did you know, only excuse I'm gonna give him is he didn't catch it right. He thought it was gonna get blocked or something like that. But if let a motherfucker run a play for me, I'm shooting that bitch. If I got fucking Wimby on me, I'm shooting that motherfucker because you'll get plays ran for you a lot.
You're right. But if you decide in the moment to defer, or there's a better shot, or you see someone's got an open look because you can see the play coming to you, what's the big deal? Like, just because you didn't shoot that shot?
Right, but if it was designed, because I didn't see the play.
I didn't see it either. I just saw this whole story about him.
It must have been the game they got mollywopped by Kentucky or something. Because
who was the game?
They were number one in the country, and then they got
their head beat in by Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah. You're right. It was against Florida.
I watched a lot of that game, and they were down by as many as I think 40 at one point. Yeah. But my thing is,
he finished with 10 points, 3 for 11 for shooting in that game.
That's probably why he didn't shoot it.
He probably nothing was falling.
I'm gonna miss it any damn way.
Yeah. But if I am the star player for what and I'm known to do what I do, and a coach runs them, I don't know any player who wouldn't want players run for them to shoot the ball. That's the weird thing. Like I don't care how bad of a game you guys are having, shoot the ball.
Yeah. All right, a couple listener questions. We'll close out shoot around.
I got suspended one time because I was telling everybody, you don't give me a fucking shot, I'm gonna beat all y'all asses. Wimp kicked me out the team.
Was this at Bama?
Yeah, Wimp kicked me out the team for, hey, you got a bad attitude. You need
to go home.
Yeah, I got
take
suspended right before the SEC tournament. I'm like, fuck all y'all.
Well, all right. Question from Darius. I've been watching all week the crazy stuff that's been coming out of CES in Las Vegas 2025, Consumer Electronics Show.
I miss going to CES.
Is Rob going to buy one of these new AI-powered robots for his house, like the ones that Tesla makes? And what's the coolest piece of technology that you guys own?
And first of all, I believe in Terminator. I can just see.
Oh, you think this is Skynet?
Yeah, I'm not letting that robot one day. I wake up, he over me, he stab me or choke me to death. Nope. Nope. God gave me hands and legs to use. I wash my own dishes. I wash my own clothes, and I'm not getting no AI in here.
I'll tell you what, man. If an AI robot wants to clean some toilets, I'm not gonna tell him no. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? You want to scrub some toilets, bro? I got a brush down the hall. You go nuts. You want to drive my kid around and be her little chauffeur instead of me? I mean, if you could do it, I'm good with it. I would honestly. When I was growing up, I always thought we were gonna have a robot. I don't know why I thought that. I just always thought, like, one day I'm gonna own a robot, and that was me being. Yeah, well, of course. But that was me as a kid thinking that was going to be reality. And now here we are.
Yeah.
You want a robot? You can get one. Those Tesla ones are like $30,000. They're not even that crazy expensive.
What do they do, though?
Oh, everything. Like, they're humanoid robots. They can sweep. They can do the dishes. It's like having a Rosie from the Jetsons. Can cook. Can do all kinds of stuff. They did it at the Tesla Expo. They had them making drinks. They had them doing all kinds of stuff. It's wild. But
so is it going to be making food? Is it a white robot or a black robot?
Listen, man. I don't think the people at Tesla are anxious to try and program a black robot. I'm just saying.
I ain't doing that shit.
Yeah.
Get your little nasty ass kids and pick up after themselves.
You come in, he's playing video games. Do it your damn self. Like, okay, all right, fine. What is the coolest piece of technology you own? To his question.
I'm not
anything cool that you have? It's like.
I'm not a techie guy, outside of my iPad or, my PS5.
That's about it.
That's about it.
We have one of those Nest thermostats, which is pretty cool. Because that's just neat that you're like, hey, if I want to turn on the AC or the heat, I can do it from my phone before I get home. I think that's neat. Yeah. But, I mean, that's not like world-breaking or anything crazy.
I could say my car, my i7, the fact
that's
that
cool.
I can, like, open the doors before I get to it and close the doors when I get it without touching the door. So, other than that.
Okay. Harp, do you have a cool piece of technology?
Not really. I mean, like I said, that I got an app where I can start the car from it.
That's cool. See, I don't have that. I got an old school car with a broken ass key. You gotta get your ass out in that 10-degree weather and start that car because it ain't coming on by itself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Other than regular stuff, my
have a Tesla,
MacBook and
B?
my phone. Huh? No,
Yeah.
I got it's a 2019 GMC. No, I don't like the Teslas.
Do you have you ever used, Rob, any of those self-driving taxis or any of that stuff?
No.
Because aren't those all over the place out where you are?
Yeah, they are. Have you seen that episode of Jimmy Kimmel when he puts his mom in one?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it is the funniest shit ever. You got to check it out.
He puts his mom in a self-driving taxi.
Yeah, and he pretending that he's picking her up, and like he has a driver picking her up, and the driver gets off, and the car takes off, and she's like saying every curse word, but what the fuck? And she's calling. You gotta watch it. It's funny.
I'll go look it
hell.
up. Would you try that?
No.
You're
No.
not into it.
No.
Apparently, they are way safer.
I hear that, but still no. Because I know we were in San Francisco with Christian visiting the University of San Francisco. The car pull up and it sees you on the corner. You stop, and if you don't know any better, you like, what do I do? You can do this like this to go by, and the car drive by. It's the coolest shit ever. But I don't trust it. I've seen too many movies.
You are hung up, man.
Think about it. In San Francisco, you're going down a fucking hill, all of a sudden that shit goes off. You got those hills that, man, go right into the ocean. Now you can't fucking unlock a door. You in the fucking ocean, you just bye. No.
There you go. All right, last question from Kelsey. Please tell me you saw, and by the way, shout out to Kelsey. We have a female listener on this show. All right. Please tell me you guys saw the video of those guys trying to wrangle that big-ass coyote out of the produce section of an Aldi in Chicago.
What the hell?
Did you see that?
Yes. How in the hell did he even get in there?
It's two dudes, and the fact that it's happening in Chicago melts my brain. Like, if that happened out in our country-ass neck of the woods, I'd understand it. We see coyotes out here. There's two guys, and it looks like they're in the bottom bin of the produce section, and they're digging behind stuff. It looks like they're trying to get an animal out. Yeah. And everybody has watching it is like, oh, there must be like a rat or something in there. And then you see him pull out like a tail, and this dude rips out a giant, like, wolf-sized coyote, which immediately busts loose and dives straight back into the produce. And I'm like, burn this store to the ground.
And it's just weird that it's almost like it was protecting something in there because it disappeared so fast.
Oh, it was back in like
produce.
Yeah. He was protecting the sandwich that he made. That's why he hopped back in there so quick.
It was crazy,
this
man.
bin is full of food. What are you talking about? I'm a coyote.
How did he get in the store?
I
don't know.
No idea. How did no one see? I mean, obviously somebody saw him. They called the animal guys to come get him. But
that looks like, what's the new movie coming out? Werewolf. That's what it looked like.
Wolfman?
The Wolfman.
Oh.
It's like it's the start of that. Like that thing goes in the next day and bites you around the store. And next day you start losing your fingernails. Your teeth start falling out.
There you go. Props to the movie company for some all-star promotion on the Wolfman movie. What's the craziest encounter you've had with a wild animal? I got one for you. Go ahead. You tell me yours, though.
No, you go ahead.
You giggled like you had one in the chamber, though.
I do.
All right, go ahead.
When I was living in Richmond, so sometimes the pool equipment doesn't work. So I have to go behind. Now, when I live in Richmond, Texas, I've lived out in the country. And so you have to go behind it and like manually start it. And there was no lights back then. So I told Candace, just put the flashlight, because we got wild boar, we got snakes, we got all this, right? And all of a sudden, Candace's phone rings. Of course, I'm not paying attention. Phone rings, and I move back, and all of a sudden she turns it back on. There's a fucking wild boar right in front of me. I almost shit my pants. I screamed. It screamed, and it took off one way. I took off the other way. I was like, "No, you kids to keep the goddamn light on." I was mad as shit, boy.
With a wild boar. Oh no!
Yeah,
this wasn't like a fun wild boar like in the Lion King, where it's singing and hanging out. No,
it wasn't Timon and Pumbaa out there hanging out.
No, it wasn't Timon and Pumbaa. Okay, no Pumbas. Gotcha.
Yeah, it scared me more than anything, man.
When I was in college at FAU, they have this thing called the Breezeway, which was like a long walkway that would connect all the buildings. and there was an upstairs to the breezeway that had like offices and stuff, but it would connect to, I guess, the roof of the walkway.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like a barrier there and stuff you couldn't cross over, but there were like picnic tables and all kinds of stuff up on top that you could sit at and do like work and hang out. So I went out there one night. I was studying for finals, and my dorm was a animal house. It was so loud. Everyone was always partying and drinking, and if you had to study. You could not study in the dorm. And it was way too late. Library was shut down. You couldn't go to the library. Crap. So I'm like, I got to find a place that's quiet to study. So I went up to the stairs. I went up to the top of the breezeway, and I found a picnic table, and I sat down, and I was reading, and I was working on stuff, and I hear rustling, and I turn to my right, and there are like 5 raccoons. And they are not like raccoons. They are like the size of like small alligators. They are huge, and the 5 of them are sitting there looking at me like this. And I'm like, so I take like a piece of paper, I crumple it up, and I throw it toward him just to kind of like scare him off. And the paper goes right off the dude's head. He goes, ah, and I'm like, fuck, grab all my stuff. Ran like hell. He hit him in the head like Superman. He didn't even budge. I was like, oh shit. And then I never knew that raccoons will growl at you.
I didn't know that
and I didn't know that either. That raccoon growled like an angry rabid dog, and I was like, he got 5 of his boys with him. I was like, I'm getting jumped. I'm out of here. I'm going to take my shoes.
Get
out.
Crazy.
Harp, you ever had a run-in with a wild animal?
Yeah, this had to be about a couple of years ago. We have golf cart trails out here in Peachtree City where people, ride golf carts, they ride their bikes, and they also, exercise, walk.
Don't people
jog,
like take their kids to school in their golf carts out there and stuff? Like it's built for golf carts.
Yeah, absolutely. They have stop signs and everything.
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember one day I was out, getting my miles in, jogging and whatnot, and I'm coming across this part of the trail, and I stop because I think I see something on the side. Man, it is I don't know if it was a cottonmouth or some form of a venomous snake sitting there curled up. Obviously, it had its food already, but it saw me, so it thought I was a threat. And luckily, I heard it before I saw it. And I wasn't that close to it. And I'm looking. I said, oh, I don't know what that is, but I know it's venomous just because of the way that it looks in the design. Yeah. Had its food. I said, bro, I want none of your food. Let me go on by my way. And I just kept jogging. But I was probably within 4 or 5 feet of it.
Did you jog past it or did you do a reverse?
I jogged past it. I kept going. Because my thing is, I'm going to run into something regardless whether I do a reverse and go back home or whether I keep going. So, I mean, hey.
I have a feeling your jog turned into a little bit more of a run at that point.
Yeah, and when I came back the same way, but I made sure I was on the other side of the other side of the path this time to kind of go back the other way, just to, just in case Buddy was waiting for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's like my house in Sugarland. I had a big lake in behind it, and one day it's a trail that you could take around the lake and around through there. It's about a 2 mile. I we should run that 2 times. I give them 4 miles in. So, but it had this little stretch that was all under it was like just bushes and trees. It's just an overhang, like this little path. It was about maybe 50 yards. So right there, I always sprint. So I got to that one, I would take my little sprint, and all of a sudden I get halfway through and I hit them brakes. And it was a big ass alligator just laying right there waiting for me to come by. I hit them brakes and hit reverse. So and people don't understand those man-made lakes. They're like, oh, it can't be no alligators out there. But it used to be, we had this big ass alligator. People in the neighborhood called it Fred. Like Fred was probably maybe about 20 feet long. Fred was huge, man. And so that was my other encounter. I forgot all about that until you told me about the snake you ran.
Alligator encounters, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, you live in Florida. I lived in Florida for 10 years. You see those jokers all over the place. That and iguanas.
Yeah.
Which are freaking nasty and ugly and
they look just scary to me.
Dude, they're just they're like little, like miniature dinosaurs. And when it gets to 40 degrees and it's too cold, and I'm not lying, they fall out of the trees.
Seriously?
So every now and then you'll be in Florida, and it'll be a little chilly, and an iguana will fall out of a tree. And
That's
you'll be
funny.
like, it's raining dinosaurs down here. What the hell are we doing? Get me the hell out of here.
Slap that wiener. Wrap that wiener. Tap that wiener.
Get me out. Goodbye.